Welcome to the French Newfie. Today I'm going to make an easy dish that you would want to make if you don't want to go to the market, if you don't want to go to the store, if you get home from work and you just have to use what's in your pantry. And sometimes that's what has to happen, and there's no reason why you can't make a delicious meal from what you have in your fridge and pantry like I have. It's going to be tuna pad thai, and I call it tuna pad thai because I'm using pad thai noodles and tuna, and that's about it. So I have boiling water, of course, that's going and already been lightly salted. And you take your pad thai noodles, which are rice noodles, and they're gluten-free, they're fat-free, they are great, and you just soak them in water for a couple of minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, and they'll start to get soft, just like they have. So now that my water is boiling, I'm gonna get that in to my pot. And just like that, and pop it in. Perfect. I'm gonna let this go for 4 or 5 minutes, and so I have time to get everything else included. And I'm using what's in my fridge. I always have herbs. Herbs are great. Herbs are always in my fridge, and I always have coriander or cilantro, whatever you want to call it, but they're both the same thing. I always have coriander and cilantro sitting around in my fridge. This time I was lucky enough that I had some dill, and dill is great with seafood, especially with tuna, so I'm lucky that I had some dill. I always have chilies or green peppers or jalapenos, whatever you have some heat. I had some leftover asparagus, just a few, but it's perfect for this dish. I don't need much. And I have some green sweet peas, and I love these sweet snap peas because you can eat the whole pod. You don't have to take the peas out. Perfect, summertime. And so I'm gonna chop them quickly. With the peas, what I wanna do is, the French term for this chopping method is called chiffonade. And you also do this, you probably know, maybe you don't even realize that you were doing it, but if you're making a coleslaw cabbage, you use the chiffonade method. That's the French culinary term. So what you're doing is making little slivers of the peas, and I like to use this method, the chiffonade, with the green beans, or peas, sorry, for the tuna pad thai because it makes nice little slivers just like this. And I really enjoy that texture that comes, and you can also see the peas start to expose themselves, which is nice. So I'm gonna get a couple more down. I wanna move kind of fast with these, mainly because the pad thai was already soaking and it's not gonna take long. So just go down. And make sure you're comfortable with your knife before you start moving fast. It's not a race, and you really don't want to damage your fingers. You can replace the peas, but you're not going to replace your fingers, so be careful, go at your own speed. And if you want to go slower, just don't put your pad thai down first, obviously. Take your time with that. Okay, just a few more. Doing the chiffonade. You always want to have a sharp knife. You can use fresh tuna if you like, but actually I really like the canned tuna. Do my chili, green chili. I always have green chilies or red chilies laying around on my fridge because I am a spice girl. Not an actual spice girl, but I like spice. And heat. If you don't have these green chilies, use a jalapeno or just leave it out if you're not interested in heat at all. And with my dill, just a rough chop, just to break it up. Dill is very delicate. And you're doing a rocking motion back and forth now. You know that your fingers are never gonna get hurt when you're doing the rocking motion. One on top of the other. My herbs are almost done. And I'm going into my cilantro or coriander, they're the same thing. And I actually use the stems of the coriander. I like it. They all have flavor. The stems are just as good. They're not woody like a rosemary, so I keep my stems. I use every little bit of it. Waste not, want not. And my noodles are done. I'm gonna turn off the water right now because I still have a couple of other things to do. Like take off the tops or the spears of the asparagus. So just one chop down like that. And another, because these are baby asparagus, so they're good all the way down. but not just this end piece. I'm actually gonna discard that. Perfect. Now, this is done. I'm gonna push this and move this off to the side for now. And I'm gonna bring my bowl in the center because I wanna make a quick vinaigrette or a dressing that's gonna toss and soak up into those noodles, cover all my herbs. It's gonna be delicious. So I have a wet cloth that I'm just gonna put here, a kitchen towel that I wet and made damp, and then I'm gonna get my bowl into the center with my whisk. And I want to add some lemon juice. You need to have freshly squeezed lemon juice. I always have it. And now I wanna have a little bit of Dijon mustard, and that's gonna cause it to emulsify. I need a spoon for that. Or at the end of a fork, whatever I have laying around. Use what you have. Like a tablespoon in there, and that's perfect. And now what I'm gonna do is just whisk that up so it's all going around. You get your lemon juice, you got your mustard, break it up, a little bit of salt, and not too much salt, because the other ingredients I'm gonna add are gonna be salty enough. And you have the lemon juice, and you have the mustard. And I'm also gonna add some soy sauce. And like I said, I was gonna be adding some salty ingredients. And soy sauce is very salty. It's fermented soybean. A couple of drops of the soy sauce. This is also gonna make it more pad thai. If you've ever had pad thai in Thailand, there is soy sauce. It's Asian, it's really nice. Some white pepper, just a little bit of white pepper. And I like to use white pepper because it's used a lot in Asian ingredients. You can use black pepper if you have black pepper. Use what you have and get that in. Now that is all mixed up, I'm gonna add extra virgin olive oil. And we wanna do this a little bit slowly. Don't split it. It's a little bit noisy, that's fine. It's all gonna come together, and you're not moving all over the place because you have the damp kitchen towel holding the bowl in place. And we are done. Just like that. I want to taste it for seasoning. Perfect. Salty. They're really, really nice. It's going to be so nice when it's tossed in those noodles. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I need to strain my noodles. And now we are back. And what I'm gonna do is put everything into the mixture. So get my noodles down into my beautiful salad dressing that I just made. The vinaigrette, the soy sauce, the mustard, the olive oil, and just toss it around a little bit so it coats all the noodles. We wanna get the tuna because it's tuna pad thai. So we're gonna get the tuna down into it. And this will break up. If you want to, you can use your fork to fork it and get that all in there. This is so fast and easy. And these are things that you actually have, I know I have, in my cupboard, in my refrigerator. Like I said, I don't know anyone who doesn't have a can of tuna laying around in their pantry all the time. Without further ado, we're gonna get all these nice green herbs into the mix. Bring it all back, just like this. And you have the green beans. So it's very healthy. You have the rice noodles, we have tuna, we have asparagus, we have some chili. It's like a tuna and green pasta. And take it and toss it. It's very pretty. I love the color of the dill. I love the way the dill looks against the tuna and the noodles. Really pretty. And it's very healthy, but I want to add a little bit of richness, just a little bit, for goodness and to make it a little bit more special and buttery. I'm gonna do that with some Parmigiano Reggiano over the top. Get my grater and just some nice, let it snow with a Parmigiano Reggiano. It's really, really pretty. I tried this last week. I was recipe testing and it was so good, but now I'm making it again. And this is something that I would absolutely have once a week when I have that day when I'm not in the mood to cook and go to the store. So this is very fast tuna pad thai. I hope that you give it a try, and I'd love to know what your feedback is.